It's a shame for it. The old ball game.
Welcome back to the Vintage Baseball Corner. I'm Chris. We have a PSA reveal of 29 cards for you today, but I'm going to start off real quickly looking at a hockey card, which is a little bit of a change from our channel. Subbed this card for a buddy of mine. It is obviously a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, and the grade that was determined was an authentic altered. The odd scenario to this was that when the grades were revealed online, when I clicked on the order, it showed authentic altered. Yet when I clicked on the card, it showed a PSA 6. Investigated, I asked some questions. Apparently the card was originally slabbed as a 6. PSA claims it was a clerical error. I'm not sure that I necessarily believe that. I believe that's what the PSA rep was told. I think more than likely somebody screwed up, graded a 6, which the card's not a 6. I'll show you a little bit closer. Card's not a 6, so that would have been an egregious error as well. But then when they did their final checks, somebody realized something was wrong. They cracked it back out to review it closer and then determined that it was altered, which I still can't figure out. So I've looked at the card many different ways, and one of the ways that I've looked at it is using ultraviolet light. And I'm gonna try to show you again. I've got low light right now just because it helps with the ultraviolet light, but to show you, the PSA rep told me color added right side was the determination, or right corner. Didn't say which right corner. So just kind of showing you the card itself in the best light that I can right at the moment. There's a little bit of chipping, and you may or may not be able to see that in the light that I have. There's definitely some chipping at the top. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see that on the top left corner. There's some definite chipping. So your card shouldn't be a 6. And right along the top edge, you can definitely see some there. My estimation was probably closer to a 3, give or take. So anyway, now I put UV light on it, and you can tell it's UV because the PSA security logo within the label lights up. Again, no UV. So I'm not sure if everyone knew that or not, but they do have security built into their labels, and there it is on the back. No UV, shine UV in it, boom. All right, so again, we'll look at the back real quick. I got nothing glowing, nothing showing as abnormal on the back. It all looks pretty good. It's actually a nice looking back. All of the issues on the card were just the chipping on the edges. So, taking a look at the UV again, we're going to just show, I'm going to do the best I can with this. It's not perfect. I have looked at the side of the cards just to make sure that there wasn't color added that kind of bled into the side, which you'll see at times. There's nothing there that indicates any kind of color added. I have a theory, but I'm going to reserve that for right now because my question to you is this. For any of you that have dealt with this kind of thing before or that closely examine cards, what other things can be done to check to see if color has been added to a card? Whether it's this card or a future card, cards with color borders obviously are a little bit more susceptible to it. But I've never had an issue with one where I found one that just completely lit up where you could see that, ink was added on one side or the other. So my question to you is, what else can be done to look and to try to verify to prevent one from submitting a card that's going to come back altered that you'd really probably rather not submit? Now, this card probably gets submitted anyway, but that's a different story. This is a Gretzky rookie. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to leave it at that. So now I'm going to pause the video. We're going to move Gretzky farther to the background. I'm going to open up the 2 boxes with 29 cards to reveal and stack them all up and get ready and show you some cards. All right, we have 2 boxes here. Let's get these opened up very quickly for you. That's stacked there. And this stack here. As you can see, there is 1 card in here that did not get graded. As with our previous sub, there are 4 people who have cards in this, including myself. I believe only 3 of the cards are mine, so most of these belong to my buddies Richard and James. This is the sub that took us a while. It's the second half of the 2 subs that we had submitted back in July. This was received on July 9th, entered into the system on July 14th, starting the clock, and was not received, or was not finished grading and shipped until November 17th. Fortunately, we did get it in 2 days, which was quick on the delivery side of it. But at the same time, that I believe came out to 88 or 89 days total on a 65-day sub, which again is just a little curious because the other half was done and delivered to my door in 55 days. So how the 2 orders that were received and entered on the same day got separated by well over a month, almost 2 months, is a little crazy. So let's get these, let's get going here and look at some cards. All right, we're a little bit more organized now and ready to take a look. I'm going to start with the card that did not grade. Again, this one is a little curious to me, and it kind of goes to one of my complaints and issues with PSA. This is a OPC 1976 George Brett. I had 2 OPC 1976 cards. I had measured both of them to be slightly large. Not short, but slightly large. This one comes back min size, which I've come to understand that doesn't necessarily always mean minimum. It just probably means incorrect size. But the other one actually graded. So why they treated the 2 differently, I am not sure. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I would almost bet money that this gets submitted again, it would get a grade. And that is my biggest complaint about PSA and the min size, is not that it exists, but the absolute inconsistency with how it is applied. So next up, we got 2 stacks of cards. There's 29 cards here total. You see 28 cards now. And we're going to get to look at some cards. We're going to start oldest first and take it from there. All right, here we go. We are going to start off with a handful of cards from 1960 tops. The first one we've got is a Walt Dropo. And again, I'm going to try to do everything I can to work on this glare a little bit here. This one got a near mint 8. It's a really sharp card. I don't know if you can kind of see the surface looks pretty good. Had some ticks on a couple of corners. I had this one as a, expect a 6, hope for a 7. We end up with an 8. I won't complain on that at all. I had this one as a 6 or a 7 as well, and it got a 5. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really think there's a big discernible difference in quality between these 2 cards. At least not a 3-grade difference. That's just my opinion. I would have really not been shocked at all if one got a 6, one got a 7, even if both got 6s. But the fact that one got an 8, one got a 5 just surprised me a little bit because I did not see that big of a difference. And quite frankly, the Carl Willie is slightly better centered, although that really doesn't matter because they were both centered well enough to qualify for the grades. Anyway, let's move on to Dick Hall. Got a 6 on this one. Again, nice looking card. All of these 1960s came from an LCS down the road from me. James, my buddy James, who lives 20, 30 minutes away, and Richard from Chicago was headed to the beach and stopped in one day, and so on a Saturday, the 3 of us met up at that LCS, and they had a nice group of 1960s that had just come in, and we spent a few hours at the LCS, chatting baseball, sorting through some cards. It was a good day. Just had a lot of fun. doing so and getting together. So always a good time when you can hang out and go through cards with friends, especially ones that don't live nearby. So Don Gross is another 5. Of that group, this is the third time we have submitted cards, or third submission we've submitted cards. The Carl Willie and this Don Gross were the first 2 5s that we saw. Everything else has been 6 or higher. So it's a little disappointed in those, but you know, James, these are all James cards here. James is shooting for 6 or above in 1960s, but you know, that is not always going to happen. So take the good with the bad. You know, here obviously we got a near mint 7 on a Pete Daly. Again, nice card. Just nice surface on these things. They were, you know, primarily centered pretty well. Even the backs just looked really, really sharp. I don't know how well you can kind of see that, but the backs had almost a glare. A shine to them, a gloss to them almost. This one actually is a different color back. If you notice, they do have different color backs on 1960s. So the Daily was a cream color back, and this is a Bill Henry, and this is where you can kind of see that almost gloss on the back. Just really looked sharp and nice. And this one got us a 7 as well. So, you know, you squeeze out a couple of 5s, a little disappointed. Let me get that, see if I can get that focused right. And then you get some nice grades to go along with. So sometimes you just got to kind of take the good with the bad there. We'll set that right there. Again, not that a 5 on a 1960 card is bad, but you get my point. Bobby Shantz, 1952 MVP. He gets a near mint 7 as well. Again, a beautiful card. Bobby Shantz is 100 years old. He turned 100 in September. Out of my knowledge, he still signs autographs through the mail. So I know a couple of people who have sent cards to him here in the recent past and gotten cards back pretty quickly. But this is a really nice near mint copy of Bobby Shantz, the former MVP. And also, he won, I believe, 7 Gold Gloves, but I could be off on that number. The Gold Gloves didn't even start being awarded until his career was half over, and he still, won somewhere in the 5 to 7 range. So obviously a very good fielding pitcher as well. Next up, Tony Curry. Got an EX Mint 6 on this one. Again, nice card. Bad reflection. I wish it wouldn't pick up the glare on my phone, but again, most of these have just little corner ticks. You can see the top right corner there a little bit. Nothing major. Just all were presented well for their age. Nice group of cards. And let's see, is this the last? We got 2 more. Next one is Ken McKenzie. We got another near mint 7 on this one. They did have some 62s at that LCS as well. They were not quite as nice, but I did pick up some of those for my 62 Hall of Fame registry, and have picked up those generally were between 3s and 6s, and I believe most of the ones I got hit that 4, 5, or 6 range. I think I picked up 1, 3. Hey, you can't win them all, but still a nice group of 62s as well. And the last 1960 tops is Ernie Johnson, and that will be our last 6. Now, I should know this, and I'm going to feel really stupid if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is the Ernie Johnson that became the longtime announcer for the Atlanta Braves. I'm sure James and or someone else will correct me on that one if I'm wrong, but again, nice EX Mint 6 on this one. So we're going to kind of stick this one over here if we can. Oh, that's out of whack. We'll just stick it in front for the moment. I'll go to a couple more cards, then we'll readjust. Next, we got a couple of cards of Richards. Cubs fan here. We got a near mint 1963 Ron Santo. It's a little bit better there. Get my thumb out of the way. Nice card. Centered pretty well. Presents nicely. With the colored border, everything looked pretty good. That's right about where I had it. Was a 7. So I think I had a 6 or 7 on that one. So No big surprises, good or bad there, which is not a bad thing. And I believe the last of this group in the 60s is a 1964 Willie Stargell, again belonging to Richard. Nice card, centered well. So that is the group of our 1960s. I'm going to pick a few of these. Mr. Santo, put them up here, and then we'll come back to the rest of the cards here in just a sec. Bear with me here. Bobby Shantz, little Ron Santo, little... And we'll do the near mint 8 Walt Dropo. There. So now the rest of these we're just going to take back. Stack up. Okay. Again, we're here with, these are Richard's cards. This was a really nice card he picked up in an LCS somewhere. I don't know if it was on one of his road trips or he will go on the road and stop in card shops, but he picked up a large group of early 70s cards at, I mean, bulk, like a quarter a piece. And he ends up pulling this nice Ted Simmons rookie card in that group. And it got a near mint 7, which is pretty much where we expected. I figured worst case scenario on this card would be a 6. I didn't think it had enough to get to an 8. So it's kind of right where we expected and hoped for. But man, it's a beautiful card. It's sharp. It is not perfectly centered, but it presents well and it's nicely centered. We got a nice near mint 7 on Ted there. Stick that one back there for the moment. Next up is a Thurman Munson, 1973. This one also got a 7. Put that right over here. You can take a look at it. It's a little bit short top to bottom on our centering. But again, enough to be a 7. Nice card. Nice looking back. Next up, we got a Dave Parker rookie card for Richard. This one got an 8 stain. I don't see those too often. To be honest with you, I had it more in the 6 range. I was really surprised that it got what it got here. There is wax stain on the back, but I mean, I've seen worse. That's still graded okay. So granted, maybe they could have knocked it down to a 4, and that's why they gave it an 8 stain. Not sure. So still nice card of the Cobra, newly elected Hall of Fame member, and inducted, I guess we could say. And we'll take that grade and move on. Next is a Lou Brock 1975. This one is Richard's as well. This one picked up a 6. We were hoping for a 7 on it. Still presents well. Centering's nice. That one's off and off, especially cut short at the top. That's pretty common to see it cut at the top. But an EX Mint 6 on the Lou Brock highlights from 1974 in the 75 set. Next up is the first of my 3 cards. This is the only card that I added to go to my 75 set. I thought we had a shot at a 9 here, and we got an 8, which was fine. The card presents really, really well. Centered extremely well. It's nice. Had a little bitty minor surface indentation on the front. Other than that, I mean, it's just a pretty darn sharp card. I knew I wasn't going to get a 10, but I thought we had a good shot at a 9, and we'll settle for the 8 because that's kind of the minimum bar that I'm looking for my 75 set. But this is a Rod Gilbreth near mint 8 for the big set. Next up, another card of Richards. It's a 76 Topps Reggie Jackson. We got a 6 on it. Richard has done really well with some of the grades on 76s. He had a really nice set, and he's picked up others. I don't know if this was part of his original set or if he picked it up somewhere else. But we got a 6 on this one. And I don't know that we've gotten below a 6 on any of the cards that we've submitted for that. And he's probably submitted at least a dozen to 2 dozen, mostly Hall of Famers from 76. Next up, 76 George Brett. Also got a 6. I'd have loved to see this baby get a higher grade. This is a tough card. There is no... it's an expensive card in 8. It's a $300 or $400 card in 8. Just don't see them very often. But this one looks nice. The corners might have been just a touch, soft to get a 7 on it. I didn't expect any higher than that, but still a very nice looking George Brett card. Second year George Brett. All right. Now we got a Willie Stargell 76 tops, and we got a mint 9. This baby was nice and sharp. I was expecting an 8. Figured a 7 was the low end possibility. Slightly surprised by the 9, but not really. This was just a nice card. And, again, I don't know how well I can show off. Some of the surface is nice. That kind of makes it tough, but just very nice. He's got a handful of 9s for that 76 set, so that one will go with it nicely. Centered up really almost perfectly, too. I'm going to adjust here a little bit to see, maybe allow you to see a little bit of the cards in the background a little bit better. I can't really go wider here, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Next is a Dick Allen, another new Hall of Famer. In 76 tops, we got a 7 on this one, which is pretty much right on our expectations there. But these are just generally nice. The 76 set is a really nice set. 75, of course, is my favorite, but the 76 set, especially when the cards are nice, is a very, very good looking set. We're going to do this here. I'm going to run out of space in a little bit. I'm probably going to have to adjust somewhat. Next up is a 76 Topps Mike Schmidt. We got an 8 on this baby. One of the best third basemen ever, if not the best. 500 home run club member, and big time Hall of Famer in Mike Schmidt. Just a really, really nice card there. I picked up an 8 already graded several years ago. Wish I would have had one that I could have just had graded. Would have cost me a lot less money, but still, beautiful card. All right, we have 6 more cards to go. So I'm going to try to create us a little bit of space. Bear with me for 1 sec. There, real quick, cleared up a little bit. Give you another quick look at some of the 70s cards. With 7 on the Munson, 7 on the Simmons rookie card, an 8 with, unfortunately, a stain qualifier to a light stain, a wax stain on the back for Dave Parker rookie, and a 9 on Willie Stargell, and 8 on Mike Schmidt from 1976. Now we'll move forward. This one was one of mine. I tossed this in basically right around Hall of Fame time. It's really nice, centered well. I was hoping to get a 9 out of it. I knew a 10 wasn't going to happen, but still a nice looking card, and I figured long term it's just a nice card to have in the collection. As my collection eventually will reflect many of the Hall of Famers in higher grades throughout the 70s, or at least that's going to be the goal. So that one will fit in there, even though we couldn't quite squeeze out a 9. All right, next up is another Dave Parker rookie card. This one is mine. I'm not sure. I either picked this one up in an estate sale or it came in the 1974 set that I purchased a few years ago. Not as high grade as I would have liked, but this particular card, 6 is the right grade for it. So I went ahead and graded it. Obviously, Mr. Parker's now in the Hall of Fame. It's a nice addition, to the collection. And I would not have been surprised with a 5 on this one. So I'm going to take the 6 and run with it all day long. It is off center a little bit left to right, but it's not too bad. Presents well. And we got a nice Dave Parker rookie in a 6, which is a card that I had raw only. Strangely enough, in our last submission, I submitted another one, again, that I got either from that estate sale or from my set, and it graded a 6 as well. So next up is the other O-Pee-Chee card that I mentioned that Richard had. This one is a 79, Ozzie Smith. This one got a 7. So again, I hate the way, if you notice, they put this in the slab without the guides. Sorry, that typically will straighten it out, but because I had it figured and calculated at a slightly oversized. So, and again, that may have been very common with O-Pee-Chees, but I can't figure out why this one and this one measured almost identically. Both of them slightly too big, both directions. Not just one direction, but both directions. And one comes up minimum size and the other comes up with the 7. So, and you can't really tell there, but that's just the conundrum of humans grading your cards and the inconsistency. I just don't quite understand why measuring should be an issue. That should not be shouldn't be subjective. Measuring should be measuring. The other stuff I get the subjectivity of. All right, next up is the last card of Richards. It is a 1983 Fleer Ryan Sandberg. We got an 8 on this one. We're kind of hoping for a 9. It just shows that you can't win them all. But still, very nice card. Centered nicely. Again, I don't know how well you can see. Nothing stood out to me in terms of anything specific that should knock it down. Who knows? It could have been a minor tick on a corner or something. But I thought I had a legit shot to be a 9. We just missed on it. So we'll take the 8. That's, again, kind of first world problems winding between an 8 and a 9. We got a Ricky Henderson rookie. This is for my buddy Dave. This is his only card in the set. This is from when he was growing up as a kid. And this one graded a 3. It did have a, don't know if you can see it or not, but a slight little crease down there right next to the A's banner. Crease or wrinkle. There, I think you can see it there. And it had some corners that were soft. But it's a card that he had from his early days and wanted to go ahead and get it slabbed and into his collection. So it's nicely centered. It presents well. In the slab, as centered as it is, it presents very nicely. It's a nice looking 3, but at the same time, that was about the expected grade. So the last card, we go back to James and all his 1960s. He decided to toss in a 1986 OPC Don Mattingly. Not in the Hall of Fame, but we're hoping that he is one of the next additions, as he's on the ballot. That will be the winner, or the electees will be announced here in early December, and we're hoping that Mattingly can find a way on. I know he definitely provides some polarizing opinions, but I'm a little bit biased. I grew up around the guy. I've seen him play for probably longer than anybody else. Outside of Evansville, Indiana, because I saw him as far back as a junior in high school. And to me, he is a Hall of Famer, even though he didn't have the long career that many others did. He had a peak, and he was, it's hard to argue, but he was the best, if not one of the best players in baseball for a span of years in the 80s. So that's it. 28 graded cards, 1 that we didn't get graded that got the minimum size. Required a nice grouping here. Let me see if I can just slide out a little bit. A nice grouping. Nothing super high end, but overall a fun group of cards, fun cards to add to our collection, and hopefully a fun reveal for you. Please come back and see me. Thank you for sticking it through to the end. It's very much appreciated. I've got more videos coming. I have another PSA Reveal that was released last week that you can go back and check if you've missed it, as well as some other things coming down the pike here very shortly. So subscribe if you'd like to come back for more and be notified whenever they come out. Again, thank you, and come back and visit with me again soon. I appreciate it.